Everybody, so today's video is going to be all about working our core and also working on our balance. And Elvis will probably be joining us today as well. So if you have those furry co-workers, they are more than welcome to join in with your practice today as well. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to start in a standing position. So we're going to come to the back of our mat. Now we're going to do some pretty challenging exercises, but I'm going to break it down and give you modifications so everybody can participate. All right, so we're going to start with our feet about hips distance apart, meaning you could probably fit about both of your fists between your feet. And we're going to stand up nice and tall so we stack our shoulders directly over our hips. And I want you to just feel your abs kind of zip up and keeping them nice and tight, start to work those core muscles. All right, so let's take a nice deep inhale, lift those hands up over the head, and then go ahead and start to roll down nice and slow. This may be your first forward fold of the day, so it may feel a little creaky and tight, but hopefully by the end you'll be feeling a little bit more loose. And then just go ahead and kind of sway from side to side and just notice maybe different parts of the body that you're feeling some stiffness or tension in. And then go ahead and bring it back to center. If your hamstrings aren't warmed up yet, bend your knees a lot, and I want you to take your hands to the mat. And then we're going to walk it out to a plank position. So we're going to hold it here just to fire up the core. So this is a modification that you can do. If any of this stuff gets to be too challenging, you can come back to this plank, or you can lower down to the knees for a knee plank and just hold until you're ready to try the next exercise. All right, go ahead and shift up and back to a downward dog, but I want you to bend your knees a lot. So that way we can really start to open up and lengthen the back. And if you've ever done cat yoga, I get my cat yoga for free because he likes to come around me whenever I'm on my yoga mat. All right, and then go ahead and straighten the feet as much as you can, and then we're going to bring it back to a plank. And then we're going to shift up and back into that downward dog. Bend your knees at any time if you need. So this will be another exercise that you can come back to, is just going from downward dog to plank. And let's do one more, going back to the downward dog. And then we're going to take our right leg and we're going to shoot it straight up behind us. We want our hips to be as square as possible. And then we're going to start to bend our knee, and we're going to bring that knee towards our right elbow. And then we're going to push up and back to center, squaring off those hips. And then you're going to bring your knee in, and then push it back up. And then you're going to pull that knee over to the left elbow, and then push it back up. So if any of these are too difficult, you can always drop down to your knee and just practice bringing the knee into each area. But I'm going to go back up. So let's go ahead and do this again for round 2. So bring knee to elbow and straight back up. Knee to nose, or as close to, straight back up. And then knee to the other elbow and straight back up. We still got one more to do. Just going to pull my shirt down here. And let's do that again. Pull the knee to that right elbow. Shoot it straight up and back. Center. And back. And left elbow. And up and back. Good. Go ahead and lower that foot down. We're going to come back to a plank. Drop down to the knees. Untuck the toes. And we're going to sit back. Nice and slow, because you may have quite a bit of blood rushing to your head. But also your wrists may be feeling this. So we're just going to kind of roll the wrists out. If you're not used to doing a lot of wrist strengthening exercises, they're really going to get some work today. So you'll get a nice little strength and stretch. All right, let's do this on the other side now. So we're going to come to a tabletop position. We're going to flex our feet, hips and knees go up and back. Remember your modifications, but I really want you to try at least one. All right, so left leg goes up. And let's go left knee to left elbow, straight up, and knee to nose or center, and straight back, and knee to the right elbow, and push it back. And let's do it again. And just kind of feel your flow here. Maybe notice if one side is a little tighter than the other in that hamstring or the hip. And we got one more. Modify at any time. Remember, you can always come back to even just a regular plank and holding it to build up those core muscles. All right, last one. And back. And lower that leg down. Let's come to a plank, lower down to the knees, untuck the toes. We'll sit back and just roll those wrists out. All right, feeling good. Should be nice and warm at this point. All right, so now we're gonna bring that balance element into it while working our core. So we're gonna do this in steps. So we're gonna come to a tabletop position. So to help with the wrist, make sure you're pressing into all 5 fingertips. That'll help relieve some pressure on that wrist. We're gonna go into our bird dog. So we're gonna activate our core, push your right leg back, and then extend that left arm. If this is too much, modify by not shooting those legs out as far. And then we're gonna lower it down, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. So the left side shoots out, left leg, right arm, and we lower. And extend, and lower. I'm gonna adjust myself here just a minute, and extend, and back in. So let's do a check, making sure the 5 fingertips are pressed fully into the mat. Our core is nice and tight. And then when we shoot that leg out, we want to make sure that those hips are square to the mat. Good. Let's go for 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower down. And roll those wrists out. So that is step 1. And then we're going to move into step 2. So we'll come back to that tabletop position. We're going to shoot that left leg out and extend the right arm out. Looking down where you would have both hands. So you're looking down at the bridge of your nose. Let's go ahead and check in. Hips are square to the mat. Tummy is tight. And pressing into all 5 fingertips. We're going to move this arm, the right arm, out to the side and bring it back in. Out and in. So think about that back leg. Is it slowly lowering down? We want to try to lift it up as much as possible without compromising that core engagement. Very good. And this time, we're going to take the leg out and bring it back in. Leg goes out and back in. So the key here is we don't want to rock too far to the right side. We really want to use our hip and our glute to send that leg out to the side, all while keeping those hips square. Isn't this great? Last one. And back in and lower down. So the arm is step 1, just the leg is step 2. And we're going to switch to the other side. All right, so let's send that right leg back. I'm going to adjust here so I have enough space. The left arm goes out and drop it out to the side and back in. Out and in. Now I'm just dropping my arm out to a T position. So now we're just to be a human T. One more. Very good. Now let's bring that leg out. Scooch here and leg goes out. And back in. So this time we want to make sure when we send our leg out that we're not shifting too far over to that left side. So really feel those hips and glutes working. One more. And back in. Lower everything down. Sit back. Give those wrists a roll. So you can probably see where this is going. We're going to do both of them at the same time. Yay! So if you're like, I want you to try at least one. And if after that you're like, no, you have the 2 different ways to modify, 3 different ways to modify. All right, so let's get set. We got this. 5 fingertips or 10 fingertips pressing down into the mat. Our core is engaged. We're going to send our left leg back and our right arm out. And let's drop that right arm out, Same time as we drop that left leg out. And we bring it back in. And extend it out. And back in. You guys are doing great. I'm sure. I know it. So many times people are like, oh, I don't think I can do this. And then you know what? They do it. All right, last one. Back in. But if, again, you have those modifications. All right, let's do that on the other side. So the right leg goes out, left arm extends out. Let's go ahead and drop the arm and the leg at the same time. Do you notice a difference of which side is easier than the other, that you may feel stronger or more flexible in? Let's go for one more. And back in. Lower the hand down. We're going to go back into a tabletop position. We're going to flex our feet and send those hips up and back to a downward dog. And just kind of paddle those feet out, bending one knee at a time and noticing maybe, hey, my hamstrings are feeling a little bit looser than they were in the beginning. And then lower both heels down. Give that nice good long stretch. Bend the knees if you want to get more into the back. And then bring it to a plank. Drop down to the knees. Untuck the toes. And now you can feel so much stronger in your core, so much more balanced. All right, I know you guys did great, but please let me know what you think of this video. All right, you guys go be awesome today.